Hola, un saludo para todos, muy especial. Estoy muy honrado de tenerlos aquí a todos, pero estoy súper honrado de tener a quien han sido mi mentor y mi maestro por muchos años, casi una década, y se trata de nada más y de nada menos que el señor Kirk Duplessis, fundador y CEO de Option Alpha. Kirk, welcome.
What is up? Hello, welcome.
What a welcome. Well, I was telling people you've been my mentor for the last decade, probably. And actually, I told you this in private the other day. I inspired Option Alpha. I inspired Option Sigma in Option Alpha when I came with the name. So it's for me an honor to have you here in front of the community. I'm pretty sure they will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed your content. Thank you very much for being here. And tell us a little bit about you. How did you start Option Alpha? How do you come up with the idea of the auto trading platform?
Yeah, no, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it very much. I'm super excited to be here and talk about this. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. And then Luis, you'll, kind of relay those over as we go. So really quickly, just because there's so much we can get to tonight. Option Alpha has been a 14-year project for me. It started as a blog where I was just documenting my own trading journey, trying to figure this out. I never had professional training on this. I just try to figure it out as I go. So I've had a finance background. I understand math. I understand finance. I understand investments, but I never had a traditional training in options. And it was just something I always wanted to do. And so as a kid, my parents were in the same industry, and there's a little bit of a background story on it, but it's important. But my parents were in the same industry, and we always went through as a kid these massive highs and lows with the market. So if the market was good, it was really good. And if it was bad, it was super bad, because both parents were in the same industry. And I realized even as a young age, I never wanted to be subordinate to market forces. If the market's going up and then the market goes down, I don't want to be riding that roller coaster. So that's where I kind of found options generally. I just wanted to have something that I had more control over, where the math and the numbers made sense, where it wasn't something that was just a luck of the draw, or I caught a good wave, or I got lucky in a security. I want to play things by math and numbers. And so that's why I started this journey. Option Alpha eventually morphed about 5 years ago now, which is crazy. I merged with my partner, Jack, who had already developed a trading technology, and we kind of put together the education and the auto trading platform. We basically wanted to do something that nobody had done before, which is that we knew that auto trading was important because the future of trading is going to get faster and faster. So I actually just did a podcast the other day where I talked about there's essentially a couple of things going on. One, information is coming out faster than ever before. Two, it's getting disseminated faster than ever before. So market information is getting priced faster and faster. And then three, which is coming because I've already talked to some of the people at CBOE and some of the other exchanges, 24/7 trading is coming for everything. And it's going to start rolling out over the next couple of years. So literally you cannot afford to sleep if you're going to trade, or you have to have something watching your portfolio for you. And so this is why we think auto trading is so powerful, because it's going to dominate the entire trading world. When all markets, imagine all options markets, all markets trade 24/7, which will happen in the future. What do? You have to be there watching all positions because they can move all the time. So that was the genesis of Option Alpha. We want to create a platform that traders could use. No black box. You're in control. You can see everything. It's all based on math and numbers and probabilities, and you telling a bot what to do. That's basically where we're going. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
Yeah, it does. And what about the auto trading? I mean, what will be the benefits of doing auto trading versus manual trading or human trading?
Yeah. So manual trading, the thing with auto trading is that it's just a rules-based system that makes you mechanical. So whatever you want to do with your trading strategy, a computer, a robot can execute that strategy better than you can. And I always tell people, if I gave you the perfect strategy, just in a hypothetical world, let's say I had this strategy that was 100% fail proof, never lost, whatever, and I gave it to a human would screw it up. Like no matter what, you get emotional. Me too, by the way. So I'm talking about myself too. Like we get emotional. We have all like loss aversion. We have recency bias. We have endowment effect, that there's no way we could possibly execute a strategy perfectly and flawlessly without emotion. And so the biggest benefit to auto trading is the ability to actually execute a strategy. And I always tell people like auto trading is a magnifier. It will take a great strategy and it will make it better, or a good strategy and make it better. And it will also likewise take a bad strategy and it will make it worse. So it's not this magical thing that just like automatically turns every strategy into a winning strategy. Like you still have to have those fundamentals in place. If you don't have those fundamentals in place, auto trading is just a one-way ticket to like taking that strategy and train wrecking yourself, right? You have to have those fundamentals in place, but it allows you to see more markets. You can trade more things. You can watch for opportunities that may not exist when you log in the morning. Like what I used to do, and this is just for me, but I used to come in probably like 10:30, 11. How many people do that right now, right? Like you probably log in at the same time every day. Well, what if there's a better opportunity in the morning today, or the afternoon, or before the market close? What if your perfect closing opportunity is tomorrow morning and next week it's in the afternoon? Like you can't set the times that you're going to find those opportunities. So you let a computer or robot or bot, whatever you want to call it, continuously watch and monitor the market for you. Look for those great opportunities. And when an opportunity exists, open a trade. Look for a great opportunity to close a position. And when that opportunity exists, close a position. Humans can't do that. We just don't have the bandwidth. Like we're physically incapable of doing that.
Yeah, that's true. And emotions are controlling us all the time. And that's what I try to tell people, to tell the community every single day, because you have a perfect trading plan. You have everything. But when you have to click on the bottom, sometimes you say, no, I'm going to wait. Maybe there's a reversal. Maybe the trend is going to change. And you, at the end of the day, are going to lose more money instead of leaving the work for a robot or for the bot, and he will do it for you. And it's a way to enforce the trading plan. Don't you think that way?
Yeah, of course. And it's a way to keep yourself honest too, with like, oftentimes people they make trades themselves and then they try to analyze their own trades. And you got to think like, well, what, you had no plan. Like there was no, you were just like rodeo cowboy shooting up the pipe. Like you just come in, throwing stuff against the wall, making trades. Like there's no plan there. And so if you don't have a plan, how can you even analyze your performance? So you just get into this spiral where like you're a flawed being and you can't watch all markets. You can't perfect all markets. And then what happens is that markets change, right? Like 2020 was a different market than right now. 2 years ago was a different market than it is right now. Like markets evolve so fast and there's no way that you can keep up with them. Like you have to, and this is where I just say like, you have to trade on math and probabilities. Like ultimately it comes down to like managing your risk and trading on math and probabilities. You need a statistical edge and you need a way to gain that, like take advantage of that statistical edge. And otherwise, like it's all just not like hocus pocus, but it's all just guesswork, right? And you can't make a career or a living out of guesswork.
That's true. What if we start like showing the community the platform? How could I start on the platform? What if we start building a bot, something that we do every day?
Yeah, sure. So when you get to the platform, so this is your homepage, you get into the platform, and you guys, or Luis, just like tell me, as we're going along here, but this is my this is me. This is my profile. This is me. Like in here, I've got live bots, I've got demo bots, I've got like paper trading bots. The first thing you have to understand about Option Alpha is we build our own paper trading engine. What that means is that you can paper trade right on Option Alpha with live data, no delay, no restrictions. Like try it out, right? Before you then connect to a broker like Tradier and start live trading. So try it out with paper trading, make all kinds of mistakes, mess around with it. You're not going to kill anything. You're not going to hurt anything. Do that first, okay? But then down the left-hand side, you've got a lot of different sections. We won't go through all those, but bots are basically like your computer, your computers that run. They can run one strategy on one ticker symbol, or they can run multiple strategies on multiple ticker symbols. So like this bot here is running a strategy on Apple. If I go down to another bot down here, which is like this one is running an iron condor strategy on 10 different ticker symbols at one time. So a bot is just a computer. It's just something that does what you tell it to do. It's so easy. It's almost stupid sometimes that people are like, well, is it too complicated? It's not. It's just you're telling a computer what to do. And so let's just go ahead and build out a bot. Does that make sense? We'll just go ahead and build out a bot. Once your bot starts trading, you have positions and all these other things, okay? So I'm going to go here. There's a number of ways you can build a bot, by the way. You can build a bot from blank, like a blank empty canvas. You can use something called the bot wizard, which basically you just put in all of your criteria and then you tell Option Alpha to create or generate the bot. You can clone it from a template. You can start with templates that you save. So one of the cool things about Option Alpha is we can share templates back and forth with one another. So if I have a strategy that I like to trade, I can share that template and then you can clone that template, make any tweaks or edits you want and start executing that strategy. There's no like guesswork involved in like, what did he say? Or what was the tickers that were in there? Or when should I open a position? Like we just share templates back and forth with one another. There's a whole community of templates that are in there to share. And then we put in sample templates so you can start with a couple samples. So these are built from the Option Alpha team, but they kind of show you different ways that you can use bots. And you can start with a sample template if you want to. They're fully built bot templates that you can then start running in paper trading and start to understand how they work. But let's just start with a blank canvas, okay? We'll start with an empty bot. We'll call this one Luis's super bot, okay? And then you can connect it to a trading account. So you can connect it to a paper trading, a live trading account, whatever you want, and then you give it a maximum allocation. So this is where you actually can tell the bot, hey, no matter what happens, never trade more than $3,000 or whatever amount you put in here. This is where you can start to give the bot control. Like you are in control of this. You can change this at any time, but you say, hey, look, you can never trade more than $3,000. Now, at this point, you've made your bot shell. This is why I call it like a bot shell. You've given it a name, it's connected to an account, whether it's paper trading or live, and it's got some capital. So now we go to the bot settings, and this is where your bot can start to like essentially come alive. You can start to add automations for the bot to run. So here's a good example. Like everyone has bills that they pay monthly, right? You have those bills on auto pay. So like Netflix or whatever, your car, bill or your mortgage or your rent, some of those are on auto pay, right? That's all you're doing here is you're setting up automations to run to do certain things for you on a schedule. So here we're going to add by the way, Luis, is this good? Making sense to everyone?
It does. Could you slow your pace just 2 clicks?
Slow my pace?
Yes.
Got it. I know.
To give Diego time to interpret the whole thing.
So excited. Okay. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add an automation to this bot. This bot right now is a shell. It has nothing in it. There's no positions. You haven't told your bot what to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to add an automation and we're going to build a brand new automation. Okay. We're going to call this one Luis's Super Scanner. Now, in this case, all an automation is a series of actions that you tell the bot to go through. And you can put these actions in whatever order you want, and you can have the bot do whatever you want it to do. It can make a decision. It can make different decisions, like make this decision. And if the answer to that question is yes, then make this decision. And then it can open trades. It can scan for trades. It can rank trading opportunities. It can send you a notification. It can tag itself. It can do a bunch of different things. So the first thing that I usually do, or some of the first things you can do, is you can add what are called decisions to your bots. Now decisions, and then we color code them if it helps out, like with the little question icon here. Decisions are basically just natural language recipes that you add to your bot. So you could say something like, let's just go down here and say that the symbol's IV rank is above 70. So I don't know if everyone's familiar with the IV rank, but IV rank is a way to judge how pricey the options are for that particular symbol. Or you could do something like, let's go down here to, you guys use a lot of technical indicators like RSI and stuff like that. So you
Yeah,
could
RSI. We use RSI or the simple moving average.
Yeah. So you could say some symbols intraday RSI is a buy signal. So you could go here and you could say SPY intraday, the RSI or any other technical indicator is currently showing a buy signal. Now, if you need help with these recipes, you just click here and you can see that. And then once we add this, notice we can say it's a neutral, or you can go back in here and you can change it, make it a sell or buy, whatever you want. Once you add this and say, yes, this is the decision I want the bot to make, then here's what happens. When this automation runs, and it can run on whatever schedule you want. You can run it once in the morning, once in the afternoon. You could run it all day if you want to run it all day. It's going to first, when it first starts running, it's going to go through and it's going to ask the question to itself, right? It's going to say, is SPY, is the intraday RSI signal, like the RSI indicator, is that a buy signal? And if it is a buy signal, the bot will continue down the yes path. So it's basically asking a question and then starting to deviate down one path or another based on the answer. So one morning it might be a buy signal, and the other morning it might be, no, it's not a buy signal. And so what you're doing here is you're letting the bot do all the work of analyzing whatever it is that you want to analyze and making decisions until the right opportunity shows itself. So let's say you want to do RSI is a buy signal. Yes, it's a buy signal. Okay, add another decision. Maybe the symbol is above some, you guys like moving averages, right? So let's go here. And let's say that the symbol's price, so we'll do SPY again. The price is above the 30-day simple moving average. And we'll add that here. So it would only then go down the yes path if RSI, is a buy signal. And then it would ask itself another question. Is the symbol's price above the 30-day moving average? And if the answer to both of these are yes, then you can tell the bot to open a trade. And then you tell the bot what type of trade you want to open. Like under those specific market conditions, open a trade. Maybe we open a short put spread and we say, we want to open a short put spread in SPY. We want an expiration that's at least 30 days and only the monthly contracts, right? And we can start to put all the details in for our new position. Does that make sense before I keep going further?
Yeah,
Luis,
it does. Yeah, it's perfect.
Cool. Is everyone getting
it? They're going to be able to revisit the video, so no worries.
Okay, cool. So then you tell the bot, in this case, you're telling the bot to open a specific type of position, like a short put spread. And again, you can specify all the things that you want. You want a specific leg or delta, a specific number of contracts, or up to a certain amount of risk. So this is where you can say, look, I want you to risk, buy as many or sell as many contracts as you can, up to $500 of risk. Or you can say one contract, or you can say 5% of the bot's allocation. So now you have a bot that is scaling positions up and down as it makes money and as it doesn't make money. It's really smart. And then what you can do is you can go down here and you can just save, right? So now you have this very simple automation, and you can see how you can naturally start to add lots of decisions and branches and things to do. But in this environment is basically like a bullish environment. You could even add a note here and say bullish market setup, or whatever you want to put in here so that you know, hey, if it goes down this branch, this path, this is a bullish setup. Now, if RSI isn't a buy, you could do something down here and you could open a neutral iron condor position. So if you don't have a buy signal, why open a really bullish position? If RSI is not a buy and just kind of middle of the road, then why not open a neutral iron condor position? And maybe that position is a little bit further out. Maybe you say, hey, I want to give this one maybe 45 days, only the monthlies. Okay, and I want to open that position. So right here inside of this one simple scanner, you now are analyzing the market for your perfect opportunity to get into a bullish position. And if the market is not showing a bullish signal, or however you define a signal, then it's going to open an iron condor. It's going to open a wide, neutral, range-bound iron condor. Now you can do this all inside one automation. So that will open all of these positions, and it will manage these positions as well. Okay. So does that help? And then we'll can I keep going, digging into this, Luis?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
So if you have a bot that can open positions now, then what you can also do is you can set inside of that open position action, you can go in here and you can set something called exit options. I don't know how many people use exit options, but once you see how exit options work, I promise you, you will never use anything else again. So here inside of my open short put spread, I can say, look, I'm going to preset my areas where I want to exit this position. So I'm going to open up exit options, and I'm going to say, if this position ever reaches a 50% profit, so 50% of the original credit, take the profit. Now, exit options, once the position gets in and is working, exit options immediately start running every minute. So every minute during the trading day, the bot is asking, do I have a profit? 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 And if it ever gets to the point of having a profit, it's going to send orders and try to close the position. Does that make sense? But that's not the only thing. You can set all of the different criteria that you would close a position. How many people ever use a trailing stop? Have you ever used a trailing stop? Well, you probably never used a trailing stop because nobody has trailing stops on options except for us. So you can activate it at, say, 40%. So once you've reached 40% of your maximum credit, or you can say something like 30%, close the position on a 10% pullback. So it's going to do the same thing. It's going to be watching this position all the time. And as soon as it reaches a 30% trigger to trigger the trailing stop to start tracking, it's going to close a position if it ever has a pullback of 10%. But it leaves room for the position to continue to grow in its profit. You could also do something like, if the position expires in 2 days. How many people don't like assignments, expiration, dealing with that? Okay, go ahead. Just tell your bot, hey, look, close the position 4 days before expiration. So if expiration's coming up and I forget to actually close the position, because that's what happens. I've done that myself 100 times. Like I forget that. I'm like, oh my God, I had this position that was closing. You tell the bot, hey bot, you can close the position 4 days before expiration. You can tell the bot to wait at least 1 day to avoid being flagged as a pattern day trader. So if you have a small account, and if you don't want to trade in and out and in and out every day, you just click this box right here, wait at least 1 day so that you don't get flagged as a pattern day trader. So do you see how, like, inside of this one screen, I am presetting like a recipe checklist, all of the things that would determine when I get out of the position. And then I just save those and it's done forever. So every position that the bot gets in has these exact exit options. And I can come in here and change them if I want to. But once I've set those exit options, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't have to watch and monitor the position. It manages it for profits. It manages it for a trailing stop. It manages it for expiration. I don't have to worry about that. I can like go do other things that are more important than actually watching these things and calculating these. Okay, does that make sense? I can even take this, let me not take this a step further just yet. Okay, so that's the exit options for the short put spread. For the iron condor, I can do the same thing. I can come in here and say, you know what? For iron condors, I want to take a 75% profit. I don't want to use a trailing stop and I want to exit positions 1 hour before they expire. And I want to wait at least 1 day to avoid being a pattern day trader. So, excuse me, so different exit options for different types of strategies if you want. By the way, you can save any of these as presets. So if you love this, you can save this and say, hey, I want to save this style of doing exit options because I'm going to reuse them over and over again. And so now, again, you have a very specific scanner that is managing your entire trading strategy. Once you're done here, all you do is you just save this. You save this automation. Now you have your automation here. You have the instruction manual. This is the recipe. This is the, hey, do this, then do this, then do this, right? This is your guidebook, your recipe for the bot. The last thing that you have to do is set a schedule. When do you want this to run? Do you want it to run every 15 minutes with the goal of finding new positions? Do you want to run it one time on a specific date? Do you want to run it on a reoccurring schedule, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 o'clock? You can run it the market open, market close. You can run it after a position is open or a position is closed. Most people just run it as a scanner, which is every 15 minutes. If you're thinking is 15 minutes fast enough, yeah, it's fast enough. It's really fast to be running those every day, every 15 minutes. So you're going to get lots and lots of runs, lots and lots of opportunities being analyzed. And so now you can see this bot has a scanner. This bot has a scanner attached to it. And so really the last thing that we have to do to turn this bot on is to go up here to the button and turn the automations on. Now, when the next market open happens, this bot will start running and it will start executing and it will start trying to find opportunities to enter positions. Does that make sense? Luis, are we good?
Yeah, we're super good.
Okay, is everyone like, I don't know. I can't tell if everyone's loving it or they're like, yes, is this good? Or, okay, good. Just going through here. So, okay. Not
So
easy.
once I hit the automation button on, it will start looking for positions, looking for opportunities.
When the market's open.
Yeah,
Yep.
when the market's open, of course.
When the market's open. Now, by the way, you can test any of this right here. So you can go here and you can say, I want to run a test, which will test the logic of the bot right now, or like whatever the markets are closed. So it would use the closed market data. So you can start the test and see, you can see that the SPY intraday RSI today did not close as a buy signal. The indicator was neutral today. So you can actually see, and this is the cool thing about what I think we did here is we spent a lot of time building things like testing logs that help you see exactly what the bot is doing and what decisions the bot's making. So if you come in here tomorrow and you're like, hey, why did the bot open an iron condor position? Well, you know that the SPY RSI was not a buy signal. It was neutral. So it went down the no path and it opened an iron condor position. This is the iron condor position that it opened or would have opened. This is just a test. It's a simulation, right? But you can see exactly how these run. Let me switch over to another bot. Can I switch over to another bot that has some more logic in it?
Yeah, absolutely. What if I'm lazy? I don't want to build a bot. I just want to copy paste.
Yeah, so here's one that you can copy and paste, but you should know how they work, okay? Like, please
Of course.
know. Yeah.
That's why we're
one
here today.
That's it, right? So this bot is my like test case bot, but I run it with live money. So this is a monthly iron condor. It started with $3,000. So it's a small account. And I do monthly iron condors across 10 ticker symbols. I have not made a manual trade in this bot ever. Never, never, never have I made a manual trade in this bot. It has done 111 positions. So it has done the whole thing for me every time, start to finish, since I turned this bot on. And so this bot has a couple more automations, but you can see inside of here, I'm just adding some other decision criteria. And so some of the things that I add to this bot, for example, is I add some additional criteria like minimum IV rank, or I add criteria like the maximum IV rank I want, or the probability of profit threshold. So like this right here, I can tell my bot, hey, don't ever enter a position unless the probability of profit is over 65%. So don't even do it. Just prevent me from making stupid decisions and calculate the probability of profit for me. And then don't ever enter a position that has less than 65% probability of profit. And it does that all day. That's why I only have 6 out of 10 positions right now, because some tickers right now don't have good pricing. And so the bot naturally avoids those ticker symbols, right? Because they don't have good pricing. Or if the rate of return, like the potential rate of return on the position, how much premium I'm collecting versus how much risk I'm actually taking, if that number is not greater than 25%, don't enter the position. So you can see, like, inside of this bot, I have a couple more decisions in here. There's not too many, it's a couple more decisions, but all of the things have to line up in order for me to allow the bot, because I'm allowing the bot to open a new position. And generally, I think it's working out pretty well. It's gone through some drawdowns and whatever, but it's doing what it needs to do. It's starting to mature into a bot that has a lot of good history of live trades and like live environment trading, where it's actually doing what it needs to do. It's kind of bucking the trend where everything might be, down or sideways. Like this thing is a little bit more stable. Does that make sense? How we're kind of running that?
It does, it does. There is a question here. Is it possible to backtest the strategy once we create it?
So you can't take a strategy inside of a bot and then backtest it, because there's just too many combinations and variables.
Right.
And most of the backtesting data is daily data. But what you can do is you can backtest strategies here. You can run a new backtest, choose all of your criteria, all of your strategy stuff, right? Your indicators. You put that in here, and then you can backtest your own strategies that are in here. So for example, I take any of these strategies that I backtested, right? And I can see the performance of that particular backtest. Now, here's the cool thing, because you guys already learned about a bot. If I find a backtest that I like and love, like this one here, I can go up here and I can automatically create a bot from that backtest. So I think the way that people are thinking about it is they're thinking, should I create a bot and then test it? That to me seems like a lot of work, because you don't even know, one, you can't do it, but two, you don't even know if your strategy is good. Why not backtest, find some good ideas, and then automatically create bots out of those strategies. So if I wanted to, I could say create a bot. I could say Kirk's VXX bot, right? And all of the information from that backtest is pulled right into the bot, right? Here's your exit options that were used on the backtest. Do you see that? Exactly how this backtest was run. It's going to create a bot for you. And when I hit create a bot, I can go over to the bot settings now, and look, the scanner is built for you. Does that make sense? So you don't have to put anything in here. You just had to run the backtest and do, like, that's what you should be doing. Honestly, like, you should be doing that work as a trader of like testing strategies and testing ideas. And then the creation of the bot shouldn't be that bad. If you go into Backtester 2, we have something here called top backtest. So this is really cool. Every time in Option Alpha that you or me or anybody runs a backtest, all of that data goes into a collective pot of backtesting data. And then we all collectively can share and filter and use that data to find ideas. So I can go here and I can say, okay, find me all backtests on IWM, find me all backtests that were iron condors, and find me all backtests that were done all time. Okay, great. Now I can take this one, and this one, and I can compare these strategies back to back to see which one I like. Now, I never ran these backtests. These backtests were just ideas that other traders had. And because they ran backtests using Option Alpha, we now have all the data is collectively used by everybody now. Now I can take one of these backtests and say, hey, I like A, which is this green line here. Maybe it was more stable or whatever. And I can create a bot out of that backtest. Does that help?
Yeah. That's perfect. Now, there is another question regarding to the strategies. Right now, I'm limited to spreads and item condors, item butterflies, or could I create diagonal spreads or calendar spreads?
Yeah, no calendars, no diagonals yet. We're trying to work on how we can get those implemented auto trading wise. They're a little bit more complicated because they have those two different legs in 2 different months. And so we just have to build all the risk management into like, what do you want to do if this one expires and the other one stays, and how do you want to manage it? So right now it's just risk defined positions, credit spreads, debit spreads, iron condors, iron butterflies, stock if you want to trade stock, long puts and calls, risk defined positions.
Okay.
They're the easiest to calculate, easiest to manage anyway. Yeah.
And what about the SPX? I keep getting that question.
Yeah, a lot of people ask about SPX. So here's what's going on with SPX. And listen, if you guys wanted, I've told everyone for years, SPX has, I'm not going to like spend too much time on this, but here's the real answer. SPX is the only ticker symbol on planet Earth that does not use 1 penny price increments. So every other ticker symbol's options, you can price the option in penny increments, right? Like 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents, whatever. Okay, SPX is the only one that has non-standard pricing increments, which means that their pricing of options goes from nickels to dimes, then it could go back to nickels, then it could go back up to dimes. All we need is SPX to price in penny increments, because we can't take the liability of sending orders at non-penny increments. Like we have to send orders at penny increments. So email the guys at CBOE, like literally go to CBOE, email them, tell them you want this. I've talked to their team so many times, but we can't support it until we have like a standard pricing of the options versus like this jumping around. It's just a manual old legacy thing. Does that make sense?
It does. Now it does make sense. Right. We're gonna email him. We have 300 people here, so they were gonna get 300 emails.
I've talked to their team. Like we've had major conference calls with like head CBOE, like engineers and developers and all that stuff. They understood. They're like, oh, is it a big deal? And I'm like, yeah, it's a big deal. People want to do it. But yeah, we got to figure out that price. It's the only product. Everything else is fine. We could trade everything else, but SPX is the only, they're weird. I don't know why they did it.
Let me ask you something about stops.
Sure.
Let's say I put in a stop loss, I don't know, when I'm losing 30% of the initial credit received, and my position is going to expire next week. And tomorrow we experience a gap down and it goes beyond my stop. What happened in those cases?
If you have a stop in place on a position, let's look at something like, if I have this position here, right? And I don't have stop loss in here, but let's say I had a stop loss on this position. Then what the bot would do is that if it is beyond your stop loss, when the market opens, it will try to send orders to close the position, because that's what you're telling the bot to do. So that doesn't mean that the orders are going to get filled, but it's going to try to send orders to close the position beyond your stop loss. So every time that the position is beyond your stop loss, it will start sending orders to close. No different than if the bot is beyond your profit taking, it will send orders to close the position. And sometimes it will send orders that take a while to close. So for example, here, okay, this one only took a little bit to close. Let me find one here. Maybe it took a little bit more to close. I don't know, this one here. So this one expired in 15 minutes, so close the position. But sometimes it might take a long time for some of these orders to fill. It might take, 2 hours of the order working for the position to fill. But that's what's going to happen. Does that make sense? If it's beyond your stop loss, then take it. Look, and here's the deal too with stop losses. I'll say this. This is a good example of this. This is an NVIDIA short put spread position. This position here at one point was down negative 237%. Like, I am a believer that you should not use stop losses. I know that's counterintuitive to a lot of people, but like data wise and backtesting wise, we've run a lot of analysis on this. And we've done a lot of backtesting data. We've done a lot of our own internal research on this. It doesn't work. Like it doesn't really help out. It actually hurts more than it helps. So I'm a big fan of not using it and then position sizing small positions. Like your stop loss should be position sizing, not an actual stop. This position turned around and ended up being a winner, but it was down 237%. If you had a stop loss, you guaranteed a loser versus this one came back around the other way.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense for people who are used to like technical chart analysis, but we as the options trader, we rely in probability. Am I right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and what you should be relying on is like, here's one thing too, we can jump over here too, but I don't know how many people use this, but if you do use, and you should be using something like as part of your analysis, you should be doing expected value calculations. And if you're not doing expected value calculations, you're just missing an opportunity to actually price your trades properly. Like there's a saying, right, in options, especially for option sellers. I don't know, Luis, if you've talked about this before, but like picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. Have you guys heard that saying? Where you have lots and lots of small profits, and then you have this massive loss that just annihilates your whole portfolio, right? So you have $10 winners, $10 winners, $10 winners, and then boom, $1,000 loser, and it just crushes you. Well, that kind of stuff is avoidable in the sense that you're actually pricing your trades for the risk that you're taking. And so the problem is that most people don't actually know. They have no idea. Like I bet everyone, a lot of people here have no idea if the price that they are selling an option for or a spread or whatever is good as a good price. Do you guys know? Like, seriously, like ask yourself, like, I know for sure this is a good price, or I just kind of hope it's a good price. And so what we try to do is like, we try to give you this math and the stats for your trades so you don't have to guess. So if I go here and I say like, this is just a way to find trade ideas, but if I go to this particular one here, like this is an SPY iron condor for this expiration with these legs right here. This trade has a $30 positive expected value. That means when you take the probability of the loss and times how much you lose and the probability of how much you make, and then the probability of making money times how much you make when you make money, this trade is paying a value, like the value of this trade, if you extend it out for lots and lots of trades like this trade, right, has a positive expected value. This is a good priced trade for you versus other trades that don't have positive expected value. You could resort this list by negative expected value, and you could see something like this trade in the queues right now. This trade doesn't pay enough money. It's almost guaranteed that if you make trades like this trade over and over and over again, you're going to lose $20 on average. So like if you don't know what those numbers are for you as a trader, that how could you possibly feel like you're making progress if you're flying blind with the math? And this has nothing to do with language. This is why I like math and numbers, because I think it transcends language, English, Spanish, everything. It's just math. It's just either the numbers work or the numbers don't work. And in this case, this trade doesn't work. If you go back the opposite direction, you start finding some of these other ones that have pretty good rankings here, like this one here. Like this trade is a good trade. This trade makes sense. It's a high probability of profit. Most of the time you should do okay in this trade. It doesn't mean this trade is going to be a winner, but if you consistently make trades like this trade, you're setting yourself up for the best possible chance of success. Does that make sense?
Yep, definitely makes sense.
Yep. Cool. Okay.
Is there any mobile app right now to get notifications or to operate?
Why do you need a mobile app? It's auto trading. You don't need to. I'm just kidding. Look, you don't seriously like one. You don't need mobile because you're auto trading. But we're in the process of trying to build one out. So it's coming. But right now it's all desktop version first. It's mobile friendly, so you can go in and do some stuff mobile. You can't build like a whole bot in mobile. It's just too small of a screen. But yeah, you don't really. We don't need too much functionality in mobile, but we're working on it.
All right. What about the top strategies could you go deeper on these trade ideas? Where are you getting this information from? Is it a scanner that you guys have?
Okay, so let me do two things. I'll go through trade ideas, and then because I know we have a limited time, but we can just keep going. But I know we have trade, so I'll go through trade ideas, and then we'll go through bot templates, and then you guys can explore. Okay, trade ideas is this, and let me try to, and I hope you guys can get this in the translation as I go through it. Okay, trade ideas is this: we take the entire universe of all possible combinations of setups, every combination of spread in every month, in every security that Option Alpha tracks, okay, which is hundreds and hundreds of ticker symbols. We take all of those, and every minute we run math calculations on everything, and we give that to you in trade ideas. So what this is doing is it's taking, for example, if you put in a list here and you said, okay, I want to look at SPY. Right now, if I typed in SPY, it is running the analysis on every possible combination of SPY trading you could do, and then making those calculations and presenting them to you in trade ideas. Does that make sense? There's no guesswork. Like, it's not, well, I like to do this trade and I like to do that trade. No, it's saying of all possible combinations that you could do, this is best set up for whatever you're looking at. So you put in all of your criteria up here. You say, I want to trade SPY. I want a bullish trade in SPY. I want a trade that is somewhere between, let's say, 5 days and, I don't know, 15 days. And I want trades that have a probability of profit higher than 70%. And I want trades with a risk to reward higher than 40%. Oh, no trades that are that high, 30%. Right? Now, with this criteria, I have basically told Option Alpha to filter the entire universe of all possible combinations in SPY. And right now, of every possible combination that fits this criteria, only 4 trades actually surface. So now I can take these trades and say, okay, which one do I like? And you might like different ones. Like, somebody might like one with a bigger max profit. Somebody might like one with a smaller max profit. But now you can see those possible trading opportunities, and you can click on it, and then you can place it in a bot and place the trade. That's it. But now you have a tool at your disposal that can do that type of analysis for you. Or you can say, you know what, do every possible symbol and only ETFs. Okay, well, now you can see there's so many different trading opportunities here. You can rank them by probability of profit. You can rank them by alpha, which is a metric we calculate. You can rank them by expected value, like which trade is statistically likely to pay out the most money over time. Looks like this trade right now is the best trade right now. So that would be a trade that you could potentially consider getting into. Does that help out? Like, if that doesn't, that right there, like this ability to just analyze data on the fly every minute during the market day is, you cannot find that anyplace else. And like, I firmly believe this makes you a better trader by doing this. Okay, does that help?
Yep.
Okay, good questions in there. I can't see any of the questions, so you guys just got to keep relaying them to me as we go. This is great. Is this good? I can see some in English, so I can't do it. Okay, good.
There are a couple questions here. Is there any documentation about how Option Alpha calculates probabilities? How is it different from Tasty Trade, for instance?
If you knew what Tasty Trade did to calculate probabilities, I would love to know. So a lot of brokers, they don't actually tell you how they calculate probabilities. There's no real statistical way that they do it. We document everything on how we calculate it right here in our technical docs. So if you go, can you see my screen when I go here? So inside of our technical docs, you can see we have exactly how we calculate probability and the exact math that we use on the background. So there's nothing in a black box. You could literally stress test all the calculations that we have on your own. We go through a painstaking internal process to document all of this for you so that you can see exactly how we calculate everything and how we use it for the platform. So every number, every metric, like alpha and expected value, we document everything here so you can see how the calculations work and how you can use them. Does that help?
Great. There is another question. Where can we see the best trade ideas in terms of profit?
Well, trade ideas is going to be different every minute of the day. So it's literally going to be different every minute of the day or every like couple of minutes. If you wanted to see the best strategies that have worked for a particular ticker, you would go to top strategies and then you would filter by the actual ticker that you're looking at. So in this case, if you looked at SPY and you went to top strategies for SPY, over the last 90 days, these would be the top strategies for SPY. And then again, you would filter them by, let's say, the average return or the max profit or the win rate, whatever metric is important to you. But these would be the top strategies that you would look at for that particular one. So over the last 90 days, Iron Butterflies, let's see, let's do it by average return, rate of return. No, let's do it by, and do an average ROR. But you can see different ones. Like this one has a pretty good probability of profit. Some of these ones have lower probabilities of profit, but these are the strategy setups like short call spread, the 45-35 delta. Like that strategy over the last 90 days has been a 50-60% average rate of return with a 93% win rate. Like this is where you can start to see, okay, what has worked good in some different tickers? Does that help out? But that would be like very specific to a ticker or a setup, right? It wouldn't be like a global strategy. It'd be like, what has worked good in some ticker over the last 90 days? So you could do like NVIDIA, right? And so over the last 90 days in NVIDIA, these have been the best possible setups for NVIDIA. Does that help?
Yeah, great, great.
And you can see right now, like the trader column right now, there's 185 traders that are in a position right now like this. There's 194 traders on Option Alpha that are in a position like this right now in NVIDIA. So sometimes what some people do is they come in here and they try to look for like either the positions that a lot of people are in and have traded that have done well, and they mimic those, or they go the opposite and they look for positions that not a lot of people are in, and maybe like these are new ideas that are kind of working out. So it just depends on how much data we have and traders we have in there doing.
How many traders are trading with Option Alpha right now?
Couple thousand traders. So
couple thousand?
Like 9,800, something like that.
That's not a couple thousand.
Because I mean, but you know, some people are paper trading and they come in and out. Like some people, they'll trade for a little bit, they'll take a month off, or they won't trade and then they'll come back. So it just depends.
Right. You know, because this is a war, a race against the machine. And basically, I don't know, in a couple of years, these will become more and more popular. So for manual traders, it's going to be a challenge 100%. Try to trade against like some
100%. I'm 100% confident when I say that in 10 years, probably in 10 years or less, we will 100% laugh about the days that we used to manually trade. Like it'll be like the days of making a phone call and trading. Like people used to do it. That used to be the main way to trade, was to phone your broker and place a trade. That's like dead. And I'm telling you, manual trading will dominate because everything's going 24/7. And so if you can't, you're going to have to do it. It's going to be forced upon everybody.
Before you move to that one, how can I use Option Alpha if I cannot link my account? Let's say I have an account in Interactive Brokers. Is there any API available?
Not yet with Interactive Brokers. But here's what you would do. Inside of your bot, what you could do is you could have a bot running, right? And you could turn on in your settings email notifications. So you go down here and you say, send me an email notification for any paper trading bots. And then that bot would send you a notification like, hey, I placed a trade for this, or I'm closing a position, and you could mimic those trades right away. So that would be the easiest way to do it, is to like let the bot still do all the analysis, find those opportunities for you, and then you just copy those trades, just like you would copy a newsletter service or an alert service. But now you're doing it internally, like you're doing it with math and numbers, right? Then compared to something else.
Right. Or you can open an account on Option Sigma Trade and connect it to Option Alpha using Tradier.
Or you can use Tradier and get Option Alpha for free. So
now we are talking about brokers. Is there any chance, like, let's say I have an account on TD Ameritrade, Trade Station, and Tradier. Could I connect All of them?
You can connect all of them. So I have an account at everybody. So in here, you can see I've got TD, I've got TradeStation, I've got Tradier, I've got my Option Alpha paper trading account. You can connect all the brokers to Option Alpha, and then every bot can be trading a different broker. So you could have one bot trade in your TradeStation, you could have two bots trading your Tradier account. It's totally up to you. It's however you want to do it, but you can connect them all.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
So let's go back to the where you're gonna show us the top strategies.
Yeah, here, this is a good one. So these are top templates. Now these are different than, so top strategies, just to confirm. So top strategies is market, like historical data for any like particular strategy setup, like a 30 delta, 15 delta put spread. And it will track that put spread over the last 90 days. Like, how has that put spread been performing? That's for like a particular option, like subset strategy, right? A defined thing. It's just tracking data. Top templates is a little bit different. So what we do here, and again, you have to use this with a little bit of a grain of salt. Okay. So like I'm telling you guys, like, this is a tough one to release because you have to use this with the understanding that it's only as good as the number of trades and the math and the like the numbers around it. So everyone makes sense. Like, please use it with a grain of salt. Okay. But top strat templates takes templates that people share in the community, like myself. If I share a template in the community and then you clone it, Luis, and you clone it and somebody else clones it, and then we're all collectively running a version of this strategy. We could have little slight differences or tweaks to it. It doesn't have to be the perfect exact clone of it, but like you could change that template up. Like generally, what is the performance of that template? And then we track results, like all results, paper trading and live trading. And then you can also filter for just live trading only. So this would only be bots that are specifically connected to a live trading account, right? And then what you get is you get some of these average totals about like the number of bots that have been running, the winners, the trades, the win rate. So this is a way for you to see, like just at a high level, like what are some of the strategies or templates that have done generally well in the community, whether you do all results, which is paper trading plus live trading, or you just do live trading. Then you can start to see, okay, which template should I be interested in? Which one kind of fits my style? So I'm just going to use this one as an example, but like this one here, the average loss is $1,700. Well, that me personally, like, I don't like that. That's way too big of a loss if I was going to trade that. If I was going to trade something else, like if I was going to trade, well, I know this template because I trade this template, the average loss is $75. Well, that seems more reasonable for me. I'm pretty conservative as a trader anyway. So if I wanted to, I could click here. I could read more information about this template. I document the crazy like daylights out of my templates. And if I like this, then I could hit clone and I could mimic this entire strategy and I could test it paper trading or do whatever I want. Does that make sense? So it's a way for us. And here's the important thing, like the thing I hope that doesn't get missed here. As long as we all collectively are sharing ideas and like good, bad, or indifferent, like back and forth, this is how the community continues to grow. And we get so much good information between each other and so much good data because we're all sharing our templates back and forth. And so if you go here inside the community and you go to bot templates, you can see that like 6 hours ago, somebody posted this one, and 19 hours ago, somebody posted this template. And this is what I love about Option Alpha is that what people are doing is they're posting their templates, their strategies, other people are cloning them, and then people can come in and make suggestions like, hey, you should do this, or you should improve this. And this is how we get better as a community. So the more we share ideas and templates back and forth, then the more like the best ideas and strategies kind of rise to the top and we all get a chance to take advantage of those potentially. Does that help out? Okay, let me know. I see some of the chat in here. Did I lose you guys?
What's that?
Did I lose you? There we go. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool.
There's another question regarding the the pricing of the service. Probably Santiago doesn't know, but there is an agreement. So if you connect, you open the account, if you go to optionsigma.trade and open the account and Option Alpha, you can link the account right now with Tradier, which is our broker partner, and it's going to be free. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kirk.
So the only thing is, so you go to Luis's link, you open up your account at Option Alpha. If you don't have an account, you just start a trial. As soon as you connect to your Tradier account, the only qualification for that is that you have to have $2,000 in that account. So you can't fund it with like $20. You have to fund it with $2,000 connected to Option Alpha. Then you get Option Alpha for free at the highest level, which is our pro level. So that level is usually $199 a month. If you connect to Tradier, and you connect Option Alpha to Tradier, then you get the Pro Plus level, which gets you 50 bots, tons of back tests. You can run 500 back tests a month. You get $100,000 limit per bot. You can do that and you get that completely free. So Pro Plus is completely free if you do that. So if you're on TD Ameritrade, for example, oh, by the way, too, that also is 0 commissions with Tradier. So not only can you trade with Option Alpha free, but all of your trades, if they're placed through Option Alpha, those are also commission free as well. If you just connect your regular account to TD Ameritrade or to TradeStation, then you would have to pick a plan. So you could choose the standard or the pro or the pro plus, just depending on how many bots you want to use. Typically, I tell people just start with standard. It's our lowest plan. Start with 10 bots until you get more comfortable with it. Like you don't need 50 bots if you can't use 10, so use whatever is comfortable for you. But if you do connect to Tradier, you get everything in Pro Plus completely free. So it's literally a no-brainer. Like you're saving money on commissions anyway to do it. So why not use great technology and like make your life easier in the process?
What does it mean $100,000 limit per bot? What is?
Yeah, that's how much your total, let me go back to a bot here. So the total risk that you can put into a single bot, this allocation is limited to $100,000 per bot, which here's the thing, it is way more than anybody has needed so far. We've had only a couple people who have needed more than $100,000 to trade in a single bot. If you have that problem, you can let me know and I'll figure out a way to make sure that you get a higher capital limit. But that means that you can do 50 bots with $100,000 limit. So that's $500,000 of trading capacity inside Pro Plus for free. So probably way more than.
What if my account balance drops under $2,000?
Yeah, if it drops under $2,000, you got to bring it back above $2,000. So it has to be $2,000 or more, at least 1 day per month going forward. So that gives you some grace and some like leeway. I always tell people like that's the threshold. Transfer over a little bit of money so you have some fluctuations that you could do with your trading. But yeah, that's the minimum that Tradier set that you have to transfer over to make it worth it. Like in a good faith, like this is a good faith promotion where they're Tradier is paying for your Option Alpha membership with the understanding that you will hopefully use their services to make your trades. And that's why they're doing it. So, which is a great
so if I want to keep my account active, how many trades do I have to make per month, or how does it work?
There's no set boundary of trades. There's no set trades. But it's like the understanding is like, hey, look, if you come in, you connect to Tradier and you start paper trading, right? Which is not going through Tradier. Like whenever you do start trading, hopefully you would repay the good faith like promotion that they did to pay for your Option Alpha account and route your trades through Tradier. So there's no requirement to do that. Like you are 100% not obligated to do it by any stretch, but I don't know why you wouldn't, because you're getting commission free there. A lot of people who have switched from say TD Ameritrade or somebody else, they're saving thousands of dollars in just commissions just to route their trades there. But your choice. And you can ask them, if you have questions on specifics about that.
Okay. One more question. What is your favorite bot?
My favorite bot. So it's a hard one. I don't know. I like the Hexabots. So I created a bot called the Hexabot. I also like my cherry picker bot. So my cherry picker bot is pretty interesting. It just became active just a little bit ago. But the cherry picker bot to me is just a cool concept where it's looking for like the absolute best of the best of the best trading opportunities, which just don't come along that often. And when they do, it's trying to take advantage of them. So it's only had 4 positions, 100% win rate. I'm not going to like pay for all my groceries on this bot or whatever. It's not going to replace my monthly income, but it's a cool concept bot. I really like it because it's checking the market all the time and looking for stuff. Some of the other ones I like my Hexabots, my Hexabot in like QQQ, for example. It's done a lot of trades. It's like has weathered the storm here pretty well in tech and is like just traded through these, and it doesn't have too many ups and downs. So I like some of these. I've shared the Hexabot template in the community. So that's in the community if you're interested in that concept. So.
All right. All right. Let me see if we have any questions here. Just feel free to ask questions. No importa si es en español o en inglés. Just I can translate it for you guys. So which one has the most users? I guess he's referring to the bot has most users, or is the most used bot?
Yeah, it depends. So you can do by traders here. So the monthly Iron Condor one that I
That's
showed
yours.
that's mine. I mean, but that's I've talked about this one for years, so a lot of people use it, and it's a good one to start with. It's literally designed for small portfolios. But you get a lot of people who use like this one here, Falcon 10, like has lots of traders actively trading it, and it's made some good money. So yep. Does the day trade apply to bots? So you can avoid day trading too if you want to. Again, there's a little checkbox that we went through inside of this tonight where like when you're going through your exit options, you can specifically tell the bot, don't make a day trade, like avoid making a day trade. But in this case, you could day trade with the bots. You could avoid day trading. It's up to you. Like bots are at your control and disposal. You can manually trade here too. Like you can just open up a new position and you can say, you know what, I just want to open a new position in IWM and I want to open a long call and whatever. And I want to do this exact strike. And you can just trade manually in here as well, but you also have the choice to do things automated, if that helps.
Right. Do you think bots could affect the market on any way or the way we're doing trading right now?
They already affect the market. Like 95% of the market is automated anyway and programmatic trading. So retail is unfortunately the last one holding the stick. And like we drew the short straw, I think, until now. And we've been the dummies for a long time that are still manually trading. Everyone else is automatically trading. The entire market. That's why markets are moving so fast. Because if you think about it, in the snap of a finger, and even in a bot, in the snap of a finger, I could reposition my entire portfolio from one sector to the other sector faster than you could ever make a single manual trade. And so everyone is already auto trade, like they're already programmatically trading. So of course, programmatic trading is impacting the market. It's going to impact the market more. I think it means that you're going to see more volatility in individual securities than you would have seen 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. This is all the more reason why if you don't have something watching your positions, like it's only a matter of time before a potential position just runs over your portfolio. So like, please risk define your positions, keep your positions small. Like don't bet too much money on trades. Like it's going to be wild. Like positions are wild. Like look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is crazy right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. There is another good question. What happened with the put credit spread that was open from option alpha? And it was a sign, or I believe he's trying to say that trader closed it. Yeah, they forced the close, but this is still open in option alpha.
Yeah, if Tradier forces a close for like expiration, like if your position is, if you didn't do anything to close that position and then Tradier closed that position, then what you want to do with the position is you just want to override the position. And what that's going to do, you go up here to the position and you override it, and basically means you disconnect it from option alpha. That's it. So it means you say, hey, look, this position was closed already. You can disconnect the position. At any point, you can also re-import positions into a bot if you wanted to. But yeah, it's very easy to connect a position to a broker or disconnect a position from them.
Okay. Is there any way that the bot detects like patterns or other technical indicators?
Yeah.
Like,
No, it only anything mathematical based, like math or stats or numbers or date based. Graphical patterns, a lot of people have asked for this. It's a good question, but graphical patterns are 100% visual interpretation. Like where you see a trend line or a pennant or flag
the dead cat,
may not be where one actually exists, or it might be open to interpretation. So no, they don't do graphical patterns, and I'm not a good graphical pattern trader, so I certainly wouldn't want them to.
Okay. This applies to strategies like naked put or cover calls.
Yeah, you could do, you can't do naked puts because we don't allow undefined risk positions. Technically you could do like a covered call synthetic on option alpha, and you could do that, but we don't allow naked positions right now. It's just one thing that we don't believe that people should be trading naked positions, especially with how volatile the markets are. So we want your positions to be risk defined, but you can make the wings really, really far if you wanted to. So some people do that. They make the wings really far so that it's defined risk, but we don't do the undefined risk positions.
Basically, you can simulate a naked put just by
Just do
buying
a
cup.
just do a wide spread.
What is the bot that has the highest probability of profit? I think he went already.
I mean, it depends, like probability of profit. Like you can find bots that have a high probability of profit, but a low realized profit, right? They might be really risky bots with huge, there's just not enough data to know exactly, but go into the community, you can look through the top bots and rank and sort them by different metrics. So you can figure out which one works for you.
There's another one. When Option Alpha will have available updating on real time? Well, he says every second.
It is real time. Yeah, all of our data feeds are real time. So the bots use data in real time. So whenever you run an automation, it's using real time. Whenever you see pricing, it's real time. There's no delay on any data that comes in Option Alpha.
But I think he's referring to how often my strategy is going to scan the market.
So your scanners can run every 15 minutes right now. We're working on getting that down to 5 minutes. 15 minutes is still pretty fast. You really don't need faster unless you're truly day trading. Your exit options are running every minute. So once you find an opportunity and you get into an opportunity, then the bots can manage them every minute during the day, which is it's more than enough to manage the positions.
Excellent. Yep. Well, Kirk, it's always a pleasure, and it's always an honor to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It was really fun. I hope everyone really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was really, really fun to do this.
Yeah. What I'm going to start doing is creating some videos in Spanish so people will get more comfortable with the platform. And definitely this is a really good opening. And I don't know, I'm super excited. I'm super excited, especially for that bot, the $3,000 for a small account. Hey, I'm going to try it for sure. I'm going to try it tomorrow.
Yeah, try it. It's small positions. It's like the best of the best, risk defined, diversified tickers. Like it's a good bot. It's a good like a conservative strategy.
Yeah. What is the performance year to date for that bot?
Let's see. It's up 23% since its inception. Let me go back here and see where it's been year to date.
What is the name of the bot, if you could repeat it?
Yeah, it's the monthly Iron Condor $3,000 portfolio. It's up 8.6% year to date with a 98% win rate. It's not too bad in this market. It's gone through some bumps, but it's done well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kirk, it's an honor. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share your knowledge with this community.
Yep. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good evening. Thanks, man.
Okay. Thank you. You take care.